good day to you. We're coming on the air with breaking news out of Arizona, where the Pima County Sheriff and the FBI are now about to give an update on the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother, Nancy. She was last seen Saturday night. Authorities say that they believe she was taken from her home in Tucson against her will. They are treating that home as a crime scene. Sheriff also saying possible DNA evidence was found at the scene. Again, pleading for the public's help. Let's listen in.
Generalities, and I'm not used to everybody hanging on to my words and then trying to hold me accountable for what I say, but I understand. So we're going to try our best to be succinct with you in the future, and also more important for you to understand is we have a lot of work in front of us. We have a job to do, and we have someone's life who is in jeopardy. And so job number one is we got to find her, and we got to work hard to do that. I understand there's great attention on this, and rightfully so, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for it, because it has generated a lot of leads for us. And so we're tracking those leads, and we're doing things with evidence that you would expect us to be doing. So having said that, we're going to set this up. I know that a number of you yesterday, you guys drove me crazy. Yesterday I was going from a.m. to all the way to 9, 10, 11, midnight, answering concerns and questions, and it's just too tough. And it's not fair to the case. So what I'm going to tell you is today we're going to do this similar to what we're doing right now. Here we'll take questions. It's not really my briefing, it's your briefing. You'll be able to ask us some questions. We'll probably shut you off after a while because I just can't be here all day. We have work to do. But we'll take some questions, and then in a couple of days, unless something breaks, we'll do this every couple of days. So, and we'll set up with you through our PIO teams to give you anything that comes up that might change, but clearly they'll notify you on these, what I call media briefings. So with that, I'm going to ask John to come up. If you've got a statement to say, John, and then we'll take some questions and we'll get back to work.
Hello, I'm John Edwards. My spelling is Jonedwards. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI's office here in Tucson. First, we want the community to know that the FBI is doing everything in our power to bring Nancy Guthrie home to her family. The FBI is working alongside the Pima County Sheriff's Department on this incident. In terms of what the FBI is doing, we are providing the following support. Primarily, it's analytical and technical support in the following ways. We're downloading and analyzing cell phones, obtaining cell tower information, conducting interviews, and providing any and all investigative support that the Sheriff's Department needs. We are looking at this from every angle, but we need your help. If you live in the area or saw something on Saturday night, the 31st of January, or Sunday morning, the 1st of February, please report it to the Pima County Sheriff's Department or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Every lead and tip is important. We are aggressively pursuing and looking into every single one. Again, please help us bring Nancy Guthrie home. Thank you.
We'll take some questions.
Sheriff, is there any indication so far as to whether this was a random abduction or targeted?
It's like I said earlier, we're looking at all the leads, and we don't know. We're going to assume both sides of that. We'll look at both sides of that.
Sheriff, do you have any idea what Nancy Guthrie was wearing, or the type of car that she might have left from, or any identifiable information that the public could use to help with those tips?
We do not.
Sheriff, do you believe that one or more than one person was involved in the kidnapping?
I just no clue. It could have been one. It could have been more. I don't know.
Is there any indication that Nancy Guthrie is still alive? We know the medication played a critical role here. It's been 48 hours. She needs it every single day. Are you looking for someone that is still alive?
We hope we are. We hope we are.
Sheriff Nanos, you said earlier that you don't believe there's a wider threat to the public. If you're not sure if it's targeted, why do you believe there's no wider threat to the public?
Well, we have crime in Tucson all the time, right? Like any city. And so there, when you say a threat to the public, is there somebody out there who's kidnapping elderly people in the middle of the night every night? We've not heard that. We don't believe that's the case. We do believe that Nancy was taken from her home against her will, and that's where we're at.
Sheriff, when you reference violence at the site, can you elaborate on that? And also, was there a sign of forced entry, any valuables taken, any bank or ATM cards used after her disappearance?
We're not getting into that. What I'd tell you is, like any crime scene, we processed this crime scene. We gathered all the evidence we could, to include looking for what? Fingerprints, DNA, camera images, everything you can imagine, and we gathered that out. Those things have been submitted forward to labs, to technological companies to help us, and we're like you. We're waiting for those returns to come back.
Did you find DNA that did not belong in that house?
The window of time from when she was last seen to when she was reported missing, and I know you guys are asking for help from the public, is there any way to narrow down what time you might be helpful? I know there was a report about a pacemaker dinging like around 2 o'clock in the morning. Is there any way to indicate to people, hey, look around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. to help them identify what they might have?
You know, I really don't want to get into narrowing down the time, because narrowing it down means we could miss some tips and leads. We're working with the data we've submitted for investigative analysis. We're working to see if that time can be tightened up. But for now, we're going with what we told you earlier. She was dropped off at 9:30, and she was found to be missing at about 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
Sheriff,
Let me get this one.
DNA of anyone else found in the house?
We've submitted all kinds of samples for DNA, and we've gotten some back, but nothing to indicate any suspects.
Anybody strange in the neighborhood? I know you're looking at video, different surveillance camera, anything that we should be looking at, different cars?
I have nothing in that regard.
Have any demands been made by kidnappers?
We have all kinds of investigative leads we're working on.
Sheriff, we noticed that the camera on the front of the house is missing. Do you believe the perpetrator purposely took the camera?
Don't know that. We're looking into that as well. Yes, sir.
That seemed to be fully processed now. We saw deputies leave around 6 o'clock last night. We didn't see tape go up. You know, an Amazon driver was able to walk right up to the door. Is that pretty standard for how you handle this?
The scene is done. We're done with the residents. If we need to go back to get, maybe we want to do something with some other piece of evidence there, we contact the family and let them know. But we have turned that over to the family. I don't have the time, but it was sometime yesterday, I believe.
Have you recovered any tire tracks or any footprints around the house?
No.
Was there any kind of...
Could you please take us through the timeline that you've established of the events so far, and with as much detail as you can?
9:45, we were told she was left at her home by the family. At 11 o'clock in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the timeline. From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Let me get somebody back here, please.
Have you interviewed the people that reported her missing, the people from the...
That's the family. Oh, from the church as well. We're doing all kinds of interviews, yes, I'm sure we have.
Have you been able to access the footage from the cameras at the house?
That's all been submitted, and we're doing our best with those companies who own those cameras or built those cameras.
Are there any plans to release those videos from the cameras, from the surveillance? Are there any plans to release the video from the cameras, surveillance footage?
We don't even have them yet, so no, not at this time. This is an active investigation.
There's a report of a suspicious man a few doors down last week. Is that anything that you guys are aware of?
I'm not aware of it. My detectives may be. There's a lot of detective work being done, and I just can't get into those weeds or even discuss with you what they may not have learned. Yes, ma'am.
Support from the board yesterday. Are there specific resources that maybe the board has not granted that would have made a difference responding to this case?
Well, you know, that's getting into my own local politics. I apologize. Yes, the board a few weeks ago denied a request for more cameras, more drones, more AI capabilities with our own body-worn cameras. All those things, you know, you'd have to talk to the board. I'm not probably not the right time to go into this.
Sheriff,
let me get somebody else here.
Sheriff,
Yes.
do you believe she's still in this area?
Do we believe?
Do you believe she's still in this area, or is there somewhere else?
We don't know where she is, so we're you'd be like any investigation. You start from the point of where we last saw her, and we work out. And we are working as far out as we can go.
Sheriff, were there evidence of forced entry at the house, like any broken windows or whatever? Or does it seem like people just went in and out the front
There are
door?
concerns at the house that concerned us from the early on part of this investigation, and that's all I will tell you. Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, is there any history with Nancy needing police at her place or concerns where she was worried about somebody following or
You know, our investigative team has looked into all of those things, and that has not been brought to my attention. So she may have had something like that, but I'm not aware of it.
What is the extent of collaboration with the federal government? Obviously, FBI is here, CBP, are there other agencies also involved?
CBP's role in this was in our search and rescue mission, where we constantly use them. They have great dogs too. Our dogs aren't tracking dogs for this. Theirs are. And so they came out and did that. Anybody else, though, that we've asked for help from, whether it's the FBI, I know if we needed help from CBP or DEA or ATF, they would gladly give it. I've heard from leadership from all sorts of agencies, not just at the federal level, but across the state. Every one of them saying, Sheriff, you need anything, we're here.
Sure. So you obviously said investigators, when they got on scene, they found suspicious circumstances. When the family called originally to report her missing, did they say anything about the state of the home?
I don't know that. I don't know. Hang on, let me make sure I'm getting some different people here. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there was blood that was found inside the house and you're testing it for DNA. How much blood and where was it?
I'm not saying there's blood inside that house or outside that house. What I'm saying is our team processed a scene like you would think of any crime scene. We go in and we process it. We look for things like that, blood, DNA, any kind of physical evidence, fingerprints, anything. And all of that is gathered and submitted to a lab. That lab will report back to us what they find. So far, what we found from that lab is nothing that would tell us this is who did this.
We'll take a couple more questions, and then the sheriff's got to go.
Sheriff, can you walk through the evidence that was found at the scene in as much detail as possible?
No, I cannot.
What is the bottleneck to the surveillance footage? I know you said some of it is in the cloud, but you've also been reached out to tech companies that are saying they're cooperating. Why do you not have the surveillance footage on media?
That's what I tell them. How come I don't have this? Where's my evidence? It is a process, and I'm sorry, but you know, we're grateful that there's large corporations and companies who have bent over backwards to help us, to say, hey, Sheriff, tell us what you need. And so, yeah, I can't slam them. And we've asked them. They know the urgency here, but I'm like you. What do you mean I don't know that now? Yeah, it's tough.
On an answer that you gave earlier, you were asked if there
Last question.
You were asked if there was any ransom, and you didn't say no. You said we're following all leads. Does that mean a ransom has come in?
We're following all leads we have. That's all I can tell you. We've got hundreds of leads, and it's from you that produce those leads by telling people we need help, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not going to get into all that. We have a team designated to deal with all of our leads. They're looking into all of that. We are sharing all of our leads with the FBI. They are helping us in evaluating those leads, how good they are, where that priority should be, and so we're just. But look, I know you guys are doing your job, and you're doing a great job. But we have a job to do too, and I really need to back away from this for a while, and we'll see you, unless something breaks, we'll see you Thursday morning. PIO will give you a time frame, I'm guessing somewhere around 11:30.
Thank you.
I need your emails. If you are not on the email list, get with me in the corner. I'll be
Okay, there you have it. The sheriff of Pima County, Arizona there, briefing reporters for about 14 minutes or so, giving us the latest on the investigation into the abduction of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, of course, mother of our friend and colleague here at NBC News, Savannah Guthrie, reiterating there, the sheriff, that we don't know where she is. He's repeated that. Please help us bring Nancy Guthrie home. When asked whether she was targeted or taken at random. He said, we do not know. We're going to look at both sides here. Also noteworthy that the FBI involved in the investigation now. John Edwards, the assistant special agent in charge of Tucson there, the Tucson Bureau of the FBI. We heard from him briefly at the beginning of that. The sheriff also pointing out that the scene has been fully processed. Also important to note here that the sheriff's saying that at this point we don't have any idea how many people were involved in the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. We're joined now by our national law enforcement and intelligence correspondent, Tom Winter. Tom, again, noteworthy that the FBI now involved. The FBI saying it's doing everything in its everything in its power, rather, to bring Nancy Guthrie home. What does the FBI's involvement look like? What does that mean for the investigation moving forward?
Yeah, sure. So the FBI's involvement here, they're involved on the technical side. Was also encouraged to hear that they're involved on the interview side, that they're conducting those interviews, organizing that. Those interviews are also being shared by the Sheriff's Department. They've got their CAS team there. That's the Cellular Analysis Survey Team. What they do is they look for Nancy Guthrie's house. They know where it is on the map, and they have a map of cell phone towers in and around that house and any other potential location that they would be looking for. And if you think of a cell phone tower as a piece of pie, and that there are 3 pieces on that pie, and that's where the antennas are located, you look at all the antennas that would have coverage over that house, over that area, and some other details that are law enforcement sensitive that I'm not going to share. They put that information together and they start to develop a baseline. So if they were going to look and say you and I were neighbors, they would say, well, Tom's cell phone's generally always there, and Craig's cell phone's generally always there, and it's at night when they're not at work. Start to look for some things that don't belong. And there's some other things that they look for in the process of processing that area from a cellular standpoint, and using computers and some pretty accelerated programs, start to develop whether or not there are any needles in a stack of needles that are not normally there. And that process is a little bit more complicated than what I'm sharing, but that's one of the things that they're working on. They're also analyzing the cell phone, and so I'm encouraged to hear that they're analyzing Nancy Guthrie's cell phone. It sounds like what they would be doing here, potentially any other individuals that they would want to interview. So that's going on. I was surprised to hear from the sheriff that they have not been able to look at
the surveillance,
suggesting the surveillance video from Nancy Guthrie's home. And then presumably, according to his own statements, that information is backed up on the cloud. And so that's something that they would serve a subpoena to any one of the companies that would have that service. That would be an exigent circumstance at this point, meaning that they can ask for that information and not have to wait for a certain period of time. So I'm curious about that. There was a question asked during the press conference that I've been wondering about, which is the idea of any sort of tire tracks. Given where the home is located, the fact that there's some vegetation, some brush, and that earlier the sheriff said, hey, we don't see any sign of any cars or any automobiles from any of the other cameras from the homes surrounding Nancy Guthrie's home. It was curious to hear that, and wondering whether or not there'd be an ATV or any sort of other type of vehicle that could have been behind the home for anybody that was involved in this abduction. Taking a step back, the sheriff saying, we don't know where she is. I think if you're the Guthries, if you're me, if you're anybody else, their primary concern, I think at this point, Craig, is where whoever has her, whoever was involved in this, whoever has knowledge of this crime, and there are definitely people that I'm sure do.
Absolutely.
Look, they're not going to ask any questions. I can imagine they're going to ask any questions. I wouldn't ask any questions. Drop off Nancy Guthrie at a hospital. Drop off at a fire station. Do something there to help out Nancy. It might not be too late. Holding out hope for that outcome. Law enforcement will do its thing later.
The family has been adamant from the beginning of all of this that they simply just want Nancy Guthrie home. They want her home. The medications that she takes are needed for survival. And to your point, time is of the essence. And if you know something, say something. Drop off. Liz Kreutz is following this story for us. She is in Tucson. She is there at that news conference that just wrapped up. And Liz, it was interesting to hear the sheriff say that we should not expect another update until Thursday morning unless there's a break in the case.
Yeah, Craig, I thought it was a very interesting press conference here because it was not so much a press conference as it was a Q&A. The sheriff came out and said, essentially, I know I've been going around doing interviews with all these different outlets, whereas we've heard he's given different answers at times to different news outlets. And now this time he seems to have decided to come out and just address everybody at once. He didn't really give any update of his own. I think a lot of us were hoping that we would get some new details. Instead, he let reporters ask questions, and he gave very short, brief responses to all of those, in fact, going into less detail than he has over the past 24 hours. He flat out said, we have a lot of work in front of us. He said, we don't know where she is. And when asked if they're looking for someone who's alive, he said, we hope we are. And I also found it really notable about the footage. I mean, the number one thing that they say is going to help them crack this case is surveillance footage. And knowing that they are still trying to access the footage from the home is concerning. He says they're working on it with the big tech companies to try to access the cloud. And beyond that, the sheriff has told us, and we've talked about this, how challenging it is in this particular neighborhood because it's very dark. The homes are on large plots, acre lots, very much removed from the street. And there's a lot of this tall desert brush surrounding all of the homes. All of that, when you drive around, making it clear that it would become very difficult to find any kind of security footage that might be able to have seen something on the street.
Liz Courts-Force there in Tucson at the scene of that news conference that just wrapped up. Liz, thank you so much again. We will, of course, continue to follow the story very closely over the next few hours, next few days as well, until there's a resolution. But to reiterate Tom's point, the family just wants Nancy Guthrie home. They want their 84-year-old matriarch at home. She needs medications for survival. Time is of the essence. The family says no questions asked, just let her go. That concludes this NBC News special report. Anyone with information about the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie is asked to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. I'm Craig Melvin. Thank you for watching.